Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the complex world of corporate filings with a little smirk and a lot of clarity. Today, we're diving into Macquarie-focused Access Fund's latest update. And let's just say there's been a shuffle in the deck and it's not just about the numbers. What's the big deal here? It's an amendment to their registration statement and a supplement to their confidential memorandum. Essentially, they're updating key details about the fund, especially who's making the important decisions and who the key players are. Think of it like a company's internal report card, but with implications for investors. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you like cutting through the corporate jargon to get straight insights, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. Also, we have a fantastic community Discord channel linked in the description below where we break down these filings even further, so definitely join us there. Alright, let's talk about this fund itself. It's a registered closed-end fund, which means it's not your everyday publicly traded stock. You typically can't just hop on a brokerage app and buy shares. Instead, these are usually private placements, meaning only specific types of investors, usually the well-off ones or institutions, can get in. They call these accredited investors, which is basically a fancy way of saying they have enough money to potentially lose without it being a catastrophe. Now, the filing itself isn't actually selling anything directly. It's more about making sure everything is in order with the government regulator, the SEC. They're registering with the Investment Company Act of 1940, which is an old law designed to protect investors in investment companies like this one. The really important part here is that they're not registering the actual units in the US stock market because they are issued through private deals. The real juice in this filing is the supplement to their confidential memorandum. This is where they announce some pretty significant changes, especially concerning who's calling the shots. This is the big news. The fund's investment committee, the group deciding where the money goes, is getting a new member and losing another. Robbie Burns is stepping on board and Graham Conway is stepping off. Now, changes in leadership can signal a lot. Sometimes it's a smooth transition, other times it means a shift in strategy. We need to see who these people are and what they bring to the table. Let's look at Robbie Burns. He comes from Macquarie Asset Management, or MAM, where he's the head of solutions. That sounds important, involving leadership for global teams and handling everything from systematic investments to corporate development. He's also on other investment committees within Macquarie. This suggests he's a seasoned player with a broad understanding of different investment areas. His background also shows he's worked in Australia, the UK and the US, giving him international experience, which is often a good thing in the investment world. He got there after working at Ashmore Group and UBS Investment Bank. He's got a finance degree with honours, all sounds pretty solid. Now, they also provide a table showing what else these investment committee members are managing. This is crucial for understanding potential conflicts of interest or if they're spread too thin. Taft Dirin Cow Traft et X Piapter Trapture Dapture Regid Trapter Traps Fake TH Dapture Erbschafti NDL in Spent Companies. Temchit is Epsch Traps Trapture Pools Pool Volpla Kims Exa Trapji H Dapsha Epsha Trapture Tature Bugt Dapser Other Trapture Traps Taps Trapser Traps Taps Tapture Shake Depsch Taps Number Por Managed Jaksha Che D Ebs Tapture Trapser Tager Buckture Assets HL Tager Bar Bought with Robbie Burns Absence H Do All Tapsature Trapser Defture Ussertixel Bumber Cops The M's Upper Trapser Troops Dapser Defter Boxer Taxer Chirpar Assets Axatre Trapser Trapser Robbie Burns Dable Devio Almonders Abrager Tapsache Chawai Dawai Tate Dever Bubber Balperbache Chipser Tachi Tuv Dalb Doctors Managed Dirtal Top Trait Tray Dre. The filing also updates the list of key persons for the fund. These are the individuals whose expertise and management are considered critical to the fund's success. The key people are now Mitchell Tansman, Alex Lee and Robbie Burns, with Graham Conway no longer being a key person as of July 31st. It's worth noting that the advisor, Macquarie Wealth Advisors, can change these key people at any time. This is pretty standard, but it means the key person's designation isn't set in stone. The filing also references their financial statements. They mention audited financials for the year ending April 30, 2025, and unaudited financials for the period ending October 31, 2024. These are incorporated by reference, meaning you'd have to go look at those other reports to get the actual numbers. It's a bit like saying the details are in Chapter 2, but we don't have Chapter 2 right here. Under exhibits, they list out all the important legal documents that govern the fund and its operations. Things like the certificate of formation, amendments to that, the operating agreement, and various advisory and custody agreements. Most of these are incorporated by reference from previous filings, meaning they've been filed before and they're just referencing them again. They also reference the Code of Ethics for Macquarie Wealth Advisors, which used to be called Central Park Advisors LLC. Codes of ethics are really important in the investment world. They lay out the rules for how employees should behave, especially regarding conflicts of interest and personal trading, ensuring they act in the best interest of the clients. When it comes to control, the document states that Macquarie Wealth Advisors LLC, the fund's advisor, may be deemed to control the registrant. Information about the advisor's ownership is filed separately with the SEC. This is standard for many funds where the investment advisor has significant influence. Here are some numbers that actually show us how many people hold units in the fund. As of April 30, 2025, there were 3,723 holders of Class F1 units, 4024 holders of Class F2 units, 136 holders of Class I units. This gives us an idea of the fund size in terms of investors. The filing also talks about indemnification. This is basically insurance for the folks running the fund, protecting them from lawsuits and liabilities related to their duties. They mention their limited liability company agreement and their investment advisory agreement, and they undertake to apply these provisions in a way that's consistent with SEC guidance. They also maintain insurance for directors, officers, employees, and agents. It's a way to ensure that people are willing to take on management roles without being overly worried about personal financial ruin. They refer back to the confidential memorandum for details on the business and other connections of the investment advisor and its team. This means to get the full picture of what the advisor's people are involved in, you'd need to consult that memo. Essentially, it's about transparency regarding the overall business activities of those managing the fund. The fund's records are kept in a couple of places. Fund Services, the administrator, has some accounting and financial records in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The rest are maintained by Macquarie Wealth Advisors in New York. This is just standard procedure for where the operational and financial data is stored. And then we get to the signatures. Alex Lee, identified as president, signs off on this amendment. This is the formal sign-off making it official. Finally, the exhibit index lists none. This means no new exhibits are being filed with this particular amendment, which is common when incorporating previous filings by reference. Alright, so what's my take on all this? The most significant part of this filing is the change in the investment committee and key persons. The addition of Robbie Burns with his broad experience at Macquarie Asset Management could signal a focus on strategic growth or perhaps a more diversified investment approach. Losing Graham Conway might mean a shift away from whatever area he was most influential in. However, without seeing the actual performance numbers or the specific strategies these individuals are known for, it's hard to say definitively if this is a positive or negative change. The fact that this is a private placement fund for accredited investors means it's not for everyone, and the illiquid nature mentioned in the memorandum means investors can't just cash out whenever they want. This is a critical risk to remember. It's a long-term commitment. The filing itself is largely procedural, updating roles and referencing existing documents. The real story is always in the performance and the underlying strategy, which, as we noted, are found in other reference documents. But these leadership changes are an important indicator of potential shifts. So, what's your take on these leadership changes? Do you think adding Robbie Burns will bring significant value to the Macquarie-focused Access Fund? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a like. It really helps us out. And if you want more decoded corporate insights, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. And as always, join our Discord community for deeper dives and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shendri is subscribed and hit that notification bell. And as always, join our Discord community for deeper dives and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.